What is going on? I'm Zedmot, and you know the drill. Code Zedmot every single Supercell game and the Supercell shop or store even. Do go check that out if you've never been there. One thing you don't want to check out is that mortar attack speed tribe. Not working. Save your raw crystals for something else. Notice that I did boost it. That was for some experimenting. I had a look at, if you have a look here at your own mortar, for example, it doesn't show any speed. If you look at your opponent's, yes, your opponent's mortars, it shows that by you boosting the tribe, their mortars actually get faster, or so it says. You notice that building speed shows that their mortars are getting faster. That's just a visual glitch. Don't worry. I think it actually shows in operations as well, which I would show you if there was an operation base available, but instead we're gonna jump into warships. No war factory today. Now, when I left you yesterday, things were not going great. I actually did pretty good after you left. I did a dumb thing though. I managed to get up into 19 by unlocking shock launcher. I think I went 9-1 once I got shock launchers, and then got into 19 and didn't realize that I had the keys for shock bombs, and then other people figured out the bases and I just missed my window. So a warning to you, always check your keys, see what your plan is, and my plan did not go well. We are going to do some 2-tank, 6 with Critter Swarm attempts. We're going to try a couple different things. I have been using, actually, you know what? First and foremost, what we're going to do is get Everspark up a tick. I have been using primarily her universal remote, which meant that low level didn't really matter, but now that I want to use her Critter Swarm, we're going to bump her up a tick. You don't need tick 4 shock launchers, or tick 5 shock launchers, only need tick 4, but I am on a spend all of the tokens kind of season. My other account, I'll show you later on in the video, it has max level barrage and cannons and no building health, and it is stuck as well. So right about now is the time in the season where you start to regret some of your choices. Players are in diamond with barrage and rocket launchers. I am stuck in 19 with shock launchers and shock bombs. It'll all even out in a little bit, but right about now, watching players do smoky heavy Zuka or smoky warrior hits, it just feels like I hate my tech tree a ton. So we are gonna go, I think I planned this all wrong, but we're gonna go something like this, and we're gonna wait a second or two. We're gonna get, I love the fact that we have shock bombs. Again, this is my first attack with shock bombs this morning. On my other account, I have been using barrage, so it's a weird mind trick to get yourself back into where you need to be, but I think we should be able to get this shock out right here. Everspark's gonna bring us so many critters, it's gonna be ridiculous. All of the critters doing all of the good things for us in about 3, 2, 1 now. Some of those critters going to die. We are well aware of that, but a bunch of them are going to turn down towards the south, hoping that we don't need a shock quite yet. Really relying on those critters to keep some of our troops alive, to keep the things moving on forwards. And now, as soon as that shock's about to expire, we'll get some more critters out. Those critters going to distract the Doom Cannon, hopefully, as we get a shock on this left-hand side as well. Things going not that great, actually. Everspark's critters not going all that right direction-ish. There we go, that's what we needed. That is going to be our saving grace right there. And as you can tell here, we are team no flares still. I really do wish we had flares at the moment. But barrage, rocket launchers, another gosh darn. Are we gonna end up with 4 heroes this season? I don't know where Kavan is in the tree, but we've got Brick, we've got Everspark. Let's get some critters out. Critters on their own can very much take out an engine room. I have You know what? Let's just throw a smoke here so that our critters can do exactly that. Getting those critters to finish off that final engine room, not really suggested, but when your opponent has retreated, which either I beat people on them retreating or I lose. It kind of comes down to that. Like, for example, Cassie, I was quick. I was very, very quick, but I'll show you an example of the fun attacks that I wish I was doing right now that maybe on my other account, my other account, and then just clearing, just absolutely clearing. And you don't necessarily have to have artillery with this. People with warriors doing similar attacks using shock bombs. So if you're just detest tank attacks, maybe consider going for the heavy Zuka clear, using shock bombs like that, or using warriors. Those attacks, I don't have the tech for that. I can't reset my tech, obviously, but I've got big time FOMO over here, and I am definitely aiming the O. Hopefully that makes sense. It made sense in my head. Anyways, we are gonna keep pushing a little bit. I got 2 chests to collect. That is gonna, how close to 5 engine rooms is that gonna get us? Let's have a quick little peek, shall we? We are at 23 keys. We're gonna get 20 in both of those. That's gonna put us at about 60. Yes, I know, that's easy math. It's a joke, people. Which means we are still 2 chests away from 5 engine rooms, which means we're probably still 4 chests from Barrage. Maybe 3 chests. Anyways, not ideal, but Barrage is not going to solve all our problems. It does make things easier for certain, though. Getting rid of the Doom Cannon or getting rid of mines if you're using Heavy Zuka. I'll show you that in a second. My Heavy Zuka attacks are not great at the 5 engine room level, and I probably need to spend some diamonds to change those choice nodes. But that's kind of the theme of the season, is spending diamonds to change choice nodes. And it seems like the players who have changed their choice nodes are doing better than the players who aren't. My best gains have been when I went ahead and changed some of those choice nodes. So don't stick to choice nodes too much. There is a whole bunch of advantages in changing them up. And yesterday, I don't know if I showed you the video or not, but I managed to hack a boom cannon, which then removed a doom cannon and a laser. So I really was having a lot of fun with the universal remote. It definitely works very well, but I'm not sure it was the best choice at all times, unfortunately. So that is why we've switched to critter swarm. We are gonna get a critter swarm out right now, hoping that some of them turn towards the right, and of course they all went towards the left. So let's get a hack out there before we lose all of those troops over there. One more critter swarm, because there are so many shock mines and things ahead of us that we might as well get that puppy out there. And then again, hoping that our shock does not hit that gosh darn sky shield. I am so tempted every second of every day to go backwards and get some tech that is staring me in the face from behind. I'm not really sure how you stare something in the face from behind, but I think you get the basic idea of what I'm trying to say here, is that that sky shield that's behind would definitely slow some people down. Probably would slow down those warrior hitters, but let's be honest here, it's probably not gonna solve the world's problems, as I hope that, I was really hoping that I didn't have to shock that doom cannon, because I figured maybe, just maybe, there we go, that's exactly what I was hoping would happen, that the grenadiers would get that doom cannon out of the way. We are gonna full clear, I think. This is where having that flare would be so helpful, and when using grenadiers is beyond frustrating. Come on, dude, just there we go. So I think we're good. There's no reason for these guys to walk into those mines. Our opponent has retreated. The problem is Everspark's dead, so we're gonna have to sit here and wait for a good, hopefully less than a minute 43. I am willing to bet that we get all the engine rooms, but I'm not willing to bet all that much. And it's moments like these where, yes, we have GBE, but what the heck are we gonna do with it? Like, probably annoy our opponent. We probably, if we were super, super nice people, we would retreat after we get one engine room, but as you saw, we need to get our chests, so I'm just going to let these dudes sit here and get some throwing practice in. Maybe their accuracy gets better if they throw a bunch. It would only make sense, says the baseball coach. Okay, top one's going down first. I feel like my dudes have got some fatigue in the arms. I think their accuracy is actually getting worse. Didn't build the fatigue into factors. Probably need to throw on a long sleeve. Looks like they're throwing in short sleeves. Trying to make as many baseball parallels as I can, and it looks like we're not going to get this engine room down. Retreating is just going to make more time for our opponent, so we're just going to have to grin and bear it and just hope that by some miracle a couple of these dudes hit. Yes, Grenadiers are frustrating. Everspark staying alive would have been far, far better for us, but we are still cruising back up, back into 19. Huzzah! These next couple chests, these are the chests where you're most vulnerable. I've seen a couple people say that they can beat top players early in the season, and that makes complete sense because when you're most vulnerable, when you're saving those keys, if people behind you or below you have spent, then you're gonna lose to them. It's fairly straightforward that you have more tech. Like I saw someone on Discord complaining that as a 3 engine room player, they lost to a 4 engine room player and it wasn't fair. Well, you spent your tokens on 3 stuff. They spent their tokens on 4 stuff. Of course you're gonna lose. You spent the same number of tokens, so it only makes sense in my mind anyways. So ramble on time a little teeny tiny bit. That outside mortar's going to be a problem. Let's see if we can get some critters. Nope, can't get any. Oh, come on, come on. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. That is the worst feeling when you throw a perfectly placed shock and then realize that it's not perfectly placed and that all of your GBE has been completely and utterly wasted. Now we're going to move our shocks a little bit because those just trying to keep our critters alive at the second. And the best way to do that, of course, is to shock the flamethrower. And now that Doom Cannon is going to be picking us off bit by stinking little bit. Also, Everspark is probably going to die if we don't throw that shock on that right-hand side to get that Doom Cannon shocked. It's ugly, folks. This is not a sexy attack. I would love to be showing you guys that fun, warrior, smoky, heavy hit, but realistically, this is probably more relatable for the masses, so at least we've got that going for us. Everspark's critters, none of them turn towards the right, which is not great news. This is where having a flare would be so useful. Everspark, of course, turned towards the left, which means that unless one of those dudes gets pinpoint accuracy suddenly, hey, look at that. Ask and ye shall receive. Let's throw a shock out there, trying to keep Everspark and or Grenadiers alive, and now we're going to lose on time. Yep, that's to be expected. I probably have the wrong ratio of Grens to tanks, but we are finishing, and we are finishing basically every base. Both these troops are something that you've got for free. Grenadiers were free at the beginning of the season. Yes, they miss a lot, but my goodness, are they good at clearing mines. They also do a pretty decent job of keeping those critters alive, so give Grenadiers a little bit of love. You don't need medics. I've only heard of one person spending some tokens on medics. Don't know how that's working out for them. But Grenadiers right there in the tech tree, tanks in the tech tree, this node right here calling my name. I know we could slow down some players with that sky shield. Also, flares just, I hate this time of the season. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I am not good at saving, at hoarding. So we are going to lose as we save for 5, but once we get 5, I know that we're going to launch back up there with Barrage, probably through rocket launchers. I've already seen one laser ranger attack. I've already seen rocket launchers. It's going to be really interesting to see how we get from here over to there. That first line was so satisfying, and then the last scratchy bits on the arrow, not ideal. Maybe that could be our screenshot. I think maybe that could be our thumbnail, but probably not. Quick story time. This account was marching its way into 16, totally and utterly trolling people and using that artillery to crush people's hopes and dreams. And then I got too close to the sun and we matched a 5 engine room base that had Barrage. It sucked. I got crushed. Speaking of suckage, let's see if we can do things slightly differently here. We are going to send some warriors in with Miss Brick. We're going to send them all back into this very back corner. Yes, we can flare back there if my flares are more accurate than that. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3 all the way back into there. 1, 2, 3, 4 over in here. And that should, in theory, get us on that engine room as we throw all of our artillery on this bottom right-hand corner and completely and utterly miss the engine room. But we've got enough troops that we can take this puppy down. So just know that at the 3 engine room level, you're probably going to struggle to make gold. It is possible, but if matchmaking takes too long, you are going to end up matching a 5 engine room base. What did mate do? We crushed him. Of course. Speaking of Barrage, this is my account with Barrage. I went back and got flares. I have dumb nodes in these ones. Probably need to change those to troop health and troop damage. If you're in 5 engine rooms and you've got Barrage, you went through cannons, which means you don't have building health, which is a problem. Don't have shock mines. I have already faced someone with rocket launchers, as we talked about. This is just a weird tech tree where my attacks suck, my defenses suck, too indecisive, not naked enough, not offensive enough, so I probably need to spend some diamonds, but I'll show you how I've been using Barrage. We'll do 1 attack, then we're going to call this quits. These videos are getting long, which is both good and bad. See, this person, for example, they have got offensive boosts on that right-hand side. That is what I think I need. We shall see how this goes. Where can I flare? If I just stay up that left-hand side, here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go along this side and just BART that one out. That way we don't have to even worry about it. I wish I had warriors. We could crush this base ridiculously fast. We are going to use Brick with her battle orders. I am going to send you up there and you guys all up this side. We're going to send you up into the middle and Brick again with the battle orders. Throwing the barrage out there. 1, 2 barrages along there. Don't care about anything except for these stinking mortars. We're going to get battle orders. We're going to get moving along this left-hand side, trying to be somewhat clever. Is it going to work? We don't know because I don't know how much GBE I have. With no GBE nodes, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very time sensitive, and as you saw there, our opponents are already done. I told you this base was not great. Don't have a ton of offensive prowess. We are going to be in the neighborhood of 3 minutes and we are going to lose. It is like that when you don't pick the right tech. Don't have enough GBE for a battle orders or a barrage. We are going to get a barrage back there, which is going to maybe get us a battle orders decently quick, not overly quick. Not sure that barraging was the right answer. With rifles, that would have been way faster. 254 to 3 minutes 5 seconds. People just absolutely walking through this base. See, barrage with laser rangers. There's so much tech out there and the bases, you just can't defend against all the things. Barrage with laser rangers. It's going to be difficult to keep those ladies alive, I do think. My mines are nowhere near in the right spots, though. I just threw this base together very quickly, so we have fallen down from almost 18 down to 17. Not ideal, but it's a different tech tree. So throwing 3 different tech trees, bunch of wins, bunch of losses. Hopefully that helps you make some decisions. This season, more than other, is all about the choices you make, and you just gotta live with them unless you're willing to throw all of those diamonds into the pool. So I am Zedmot. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing and clicking the bell and all that stuff. But more importantly, huge shout out to those of you who throw comments. Those comments are the lifeblood of this channel. Greatly appreciate all of them. And I shall talk to you tomorrow. Is it Friday already tomorrow? Just seems like this week is flying by. So I am Zedmot. Thank you for coming in. Peace.